round, as you know, we will flash the stocks one by one and we'll ask April and Juanis whether they like it or dislike the stock by raising their paddles. They have their own paddles there. Note that these are their personal views and are short-term in nature and focusing at the immediate drivers of each stock. In the interest of time, we will speed through those stocks that have already been taken up during their respective presentations. April spoke a bit about them, and also Juanis. We will speed through them. They were part also, some of them are part of your most requested stocks as well. But this is what I like to point out for this speed round. We had, because I look back on our previous speed rounds and try to find out how successful are the views of April and Juanis here in terms of their vote, whether they're good, they like it or dislike it. And looking at how those stocks perform, where they both agreed, meaning they both liked it or they both doesn't like the stock. The stock moved according to the views majority of the time. So if they both like it, the stock generally went up. If they both don't like it, the stock generally went down. So they had a high batting average of being correct in the direction. For the expert huddle last March 2021, they agreed on 9 stocks. That means they either like it or dislike it at the same time. Then 8 of them went to the direction either up or down, depending on their like or dislike. In other words, they were correct 8 out of 9. That's a good bet average, no? So for the mid-year outlook that we did last year, they nailed it 100%. Their views were the same for 8 stocks out of the 12 stocks that we discussed in the speed round, and they were right in 8 of them. So 8 out of 8 correct in the direction by the end of the year. So parang when I looked at the prices in July and then look at the prices end of December, tama, kiling. So now you have more insight on the stats. If you just follow April and Juanis, that you should have a good batting average. Now I looked further in the stats. This is quite interesting. If you are what you may consider a fundamentalist and an avid follower of April and just followed her calls, ano ka lang, fundamental ka lang, yun lang sinunod mo, you didn't look at Juanis. The results were also great. April was correct in the direction of the stock price at 10 out of 12 where she had the view. Diba? So, medyo mataas din. Now, if you are a pure technical believer naman, you're a follower of Juanis, on the other hand, views are also showed, Juanis views also showed a very good batting average, 10 out of 12 also. There were different stocks, There were different stocks. They like or dislike the others, ganon. So, but in terms of their call, if you're just a pure believer of each one of them, you would have a good batting average. That's about 83%. But if you combine their views where they agreed, so mas mataas pa, the probability of success is much higher. So watch carefully in this. I know I'm putting you guys on the spot here, but but let's see how you look at the other stocks now, on the most requested stocks. We asked you for 10, but we wanted to take a lot more. We wanted to discuss a lot more. So what we did is try to expand the discussion so we can take about, I think this is about 15. So those that they already have in their view, in their presentation, respective presentation, they obviously they were recommending that they like it. Okay. And these are about 4 stocks that we have that we'll go through very quickly. The 4 stocks are what? AP, BDO, Metro Bank, and Megaworld. So we'll take that up very quickly. Let's get quick views from them because they already both like it. I'm not going to ask whether they like it or dislike it because they both like it already. Let's just get some snippets of why they do like it. So, and then we will go through the other stocks. Okay. Okay. Let's go through the first one. parent company of AP, AEV, was able to sell a big chunk at 40 pesos per share, April. And it's what? A lot lower than that. So,
Yeah.
you like it? Well, why do you like it?
Yeah. So we've really talked about this, that there could be a power shortage, if not this year, next year, and we expect AP to be one of the key beneficiaries because it can sell some of its power in the wholesale electricity spot market where prices are going up. And as you've said, the parent AEV was able to sell the shares at 40 pesos, and this stock is doing 30 something. Yes, I know it's gone up a bit, but I think 40 pesos is possible. It's not an impossible price because pre-pandemic it was trading at the 40 peso level, and of course its portfolio is also growing. I think one of the reasons why there might be some hesitation though on AP is that it does have a mix of some coal power plants. It's not a pure play renewable, but it is an opportunity in the sense that that's why it's cheap. It's not expensive, because if it were a pure renewable energy power company, then maybe it wouldn't be trading at the current price. And it gives a dividend yield of 3.5%.
Yeah, okay. Juanis, let's look at the chart. You like the chart also, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking chart. It clearly to me that there's demand flows coming inside and accumulating this. And we do have some resistance coming closer to about 34, maybe high side of 35. But I think in time they will overwhelm that and continue to move higher. 40 pesos is clearly a possible target.
Okay, good. AP. Next, let's have the next one very quickly. What's our next stock? BDO. April, why do you like it?
Yeah, in general, we do like banks. We feel that they are reopening plays. And this is also in line with our, what we're saying, focus on the bigger companies. And BDO is the biggest bank in the Philippines. And of course, we know that BDO has this track record of growth among the banks. So yeah, that's why we like it. And its valuations are still cheap at this point.
Juanis, chart looks good too.
Charts, it's actually one of the banks that actually moved up first and also corrected first, and by the strong showings that it's actually done today and it's trying to overbear resistance, I think you just continue to hold on to this. I think in good time you'll get good returns for BDO, and it is the sector that I pointed out to you that is on the leading condition. So clearly there is demand flow coming in here.
Leader. Okay, next. Another bank, Metro Bank. They gave 4 pesos cash dividend, a special cash dividend in February last year. And that's about 8% yield at the time. Now, it's nearing February. Magbibigay na naman ba ng dividend dyan?
That's what actually we are expecting, that they will, aside from having the same factors as BDO being a reopening play, this Metro Bank has a better asset quality. And one of the indicators is the high level of capital adequacy, which is why, it's able to give out some cash dividends. And maybe, they probably like, hey, our stock is so cheap because this one is even trading below book value, okay? So that's why we think there's a good possibility that they may give another extra 3 pesos in special cash dividends, and they pay out cash dividends once every year. So it will be sometime in the next few months. So if it does give that additional 3 pesos, then yeah, total of 4 pesos again for this year.
I think this stock went up yesterday, very 3.5%. Yeah. So chart, how does it look, Juanis?
Well, the uptrend is quite clear to me. It's gone way above the consolidation that it had there in November, December. So I think we will continue to see an uptrend continue itself, although there might be more volatility because it hasn't really wound up again after the very strong movements we had in the early part of 2022. But I would hold this.
Great. Next was the last one that they had in their presentation, Mega World. April, is the value in MREIT or here?
Well, that's a difficult question. But anyway, I like both of them. I like Mega World too because between the two of them, this one is much cheaper. In terms of valuation, it's below book. And it was able to realize some of the value through MREIT. It's trading at just 10 times PE. And it's a reopening play, and it's one of the biggest property developers right now, and it has a large portfolio of properties both for sale and for lease, and it's very strong in the office segment, and a lot of its offices has PESA accreditation, which should help it overcome the weakness right now that we're seeing in the general office segment for those that at least don't have PESA accreditation.
Juanis, how does the chart look?
Well, in the short term, it does look a little bit defensive because it's building the area pattern. But I think, just like the index, it just needs more time to be able to finish winding up. We might see a little bit more tests in that, might even break the recent lows, but I think it'll probably fish itself out of that in time. And potentially, I think a breakout situation is down the road for this, because if you look at the bigger trend, it's still moving upwards. So I'm still positive on this overall.
Good. So, guys, you have 4 stocks already that went through in the speed run. But now let's take up all the others. But I have an idea. One of the ladies, siguro, somewhere in the back room here, to help our audience, can you just take note and come up maybe with a summary at the end? Because we already have 4, diba? We have already 4 stocks. You have BDO, AP, Metrobank, and Megaworld. And we're going to go through another 11. So can you just make a summary at the end, whether April likes it or Juanis likes it, so that they can probably take a picture later and they can easily remind themselves your views. Okay? Sige, let's go through the speed round quickly. First, ACEN. This is the darling for the past 2 years. Now, looks like it's a laggard. I even heard some of the senior officers selling. I don't know, but in the disclosure. So, April, Juanis, do you like this or you don't like this stuff? Paddles. Oops. They both don't like it. Why, April? Mahal?
Yeah, it's when let's just go to why I don't like it. Because it's still expensive, 42 times. It's gone down a lot, but it's still 42 times PE, which is very expensive compared to other power companies. And globally, renewable energy stocks are being sold off. I mean, especially in the US, yung mga mahal binibenta.
Tapos na ba yung renewable kwento? Tapos na ba yun?
It's not naman that in the future we won't use renewable energy. It's more like before when it was uso. Medyo na overhype lang, di ba? Yun lang naman. So, we just needed to go down to a reasonable level. Then I'm sure investors will come back in. But at this point, it's not yet reasonable in terms of the valuation.
Okay, Juanis, how does the stock look? Mukhang naglalag na yata. Juanis, how does it look?
It's going through a corrective phase as of the moment. I don't know if they can go back to the chart.
Go back to the chart. Yeah.
And so right now it's still testing its lows. If I had a neutral paddle, I'd probably put it. But right now, since it's only either up or down, right now the trends are still down. I have not seen a reversal yet. I have seen no signals that generating a potential big recovery. So until I see that, I would stay on the negative side first.
Okay, thank you. Next up, please. What do we have? Next, one of their favorites, Ali, Ayala Land. I heard naman this company is buying back. In the disclosure also. So recently, do you like it or you don't like it? Oops, they both like it. Why, April?
Okay, it's a reopening play, and it's one of the biggest property developers with diversified portfolio, both for sale and for lease. And Ali is one of those stocks that you want to own, but it's always expensive. But now, finally, it's cheap. So it is a good opportunity to buy the stock.
Great. Juanis, how does it look?
Well, just like Megaworld, another property company, it's also moving to probably test its lows, and it's quite possible it could even break that. But I think that could be just a spillover effect of the corrective effort, and just continue to wind up there, and eventually, when, like April said, when the reopening starts to show more luster, then you'll probably get a recovery from this also at that particular time. Although I do feel though that, like you pointed out earlier, I think there could be that situation where the REITs of these companies are taking in some flows from their mother companies, and that could be the reason why many of them are not, as strong as some of the REITs that we've been seeing, and that could have been diverting some of the demand that would otherwise have just gone there.
Okay, great. Sige, let's get the next stock. But this time, let's start with Juanis. I don't know. Do you like it or you don't like it? MONDE needs it. Like it or you don't like it? April doesn't like it. Juanis likes it. Okay, Juanis, go ahead. Why do you like it?
Well, it's building another area pattern. So as long as patterns are being built, I would assume that there is a good degree of accumulation that's holding it. In the short term, it might go all the way back down to the lower end of its range first before trying to be able to, shore itself up. But hopefully in good time, I hope that it can actually attempt to be able to break through that particular barrier.
Yeah.
I want to. There is a talk about it being inclusion for some index activity.
For us looking at it, parang pareho naman yung other stocks, parang ganito din yung formation. But how different is this that you don't like this and the others you like? Is there any particular reason here? Juanis, is there any technical tool that you can share with us? That's why you don't like it?
Most of the formations I've showed you that look like this, I put a green paddle, so I have not diverted yet.
Yeah. You like it. Sorry. It's April. Yeah. April who doesn't like it. Okay, April. Why don't you like this stock?
Yeah. So, okay, on the positive side, I know we've been recommending this stock for a very long time. And but when it came out with earnings the past few quarters, the company has consistently said that its meat alternative business, which is what we were really excited about, in corn brand, is encountering challenges. So it's taking longer than expected to turn around. And one thing that is a problem with this business, in the UK where it's big, is because nag-reopen, mga tao ayaw na kumain at home. So the sales of the whole industry actually was weak because people just don't cook at home anymore. So yun, may ganung challenge. And then its other peers, for example, Beyond Meat in the US, and then there's this alternative or the flexitarian, di ba uso yung Oatly milk na one of Oprah's favorite milk or whatever. So yung mga share price noon, they're going down. So in some ways, it's not uso anymore. And then when you talk to them, they're also being affected by the rising commodity prices. So there are a lot of headwinds affecting the stock. So in February, it will be added to the PSCI index. We have a strong conviction that it will be added. And this could be a good opportunity, in our opinion, for clients to take some money off the table. I mean, we still like MONDE over the long term. It's just that we feel that it might underperform the market in the short term because, as you can see, the reasons why it was exciting before, or what set it apart from all the others, are no longer there. So right now, it's more comparable to the others like your URC. So yun lang naman.
Yeah. Now I get it. Juanis likes it because there's some trading opportunity, and it looks like you supporting it with this key driver that might add it to the index. So medyo may konting doon, di ba, April? Pero you say that's your opportunity to sell. So, but before that thing happens, meron ka ng trading opportunity. Tama, Juanis? That's why I like it.
That's correct. That's right.
Got it. Okay, good. Got it. Sige, next. What do we have? Dito, recent stock rights offer. Di ba? So you like it or you don't like it? No. Oops. Okay. Juanis, doesn't look good.
I still don't see the reversal sign that I've been waiting for, and the the downtrend still remains into effect. So until we do see that, I cannot become bullish yet.
Wasn't that an attempt, the recent one, when they had that break of that chart there? Isn't that an attempt?
Yeah, but it's not a reversal. It'll have to go above that 645 line, and that's still far away.
Okay, sige. April.
Yeah, so I mean they did disclose a lot of very optimistic targets, like growing the subscriber base from 5 million last year to 12 million this year, EBITDA break even or cash flow break even by 2024, and 30% market share and profitability in 5 years or 2026. But we feel that there is a huge execution risk for them to achieve these things, because it's quite difficult, because the industry is very competitive. I don't think that Globe and PLDT will take this competition sitting down. Both companies are also spending a lot on improving their networks, and they're gonna give Ditto a difficult time. And even though Ditto has said it will enter the cable business, the fiber internet business, you do have Converge also in there. So medyo mahirap yung ma-execute. And aside from that, okay, you're profitable by 2026, but then what type of value should we see? It's just difficult.
So over the short term, April, medyo mahirap. Pero, di ba, I think they will be beneficiary of this Public Services Act.
Yes. The amendment of the...
Foreign.
Yeah. But the question is, will they be allowed to, or will China Telecom be allowed to own a bigger chunk, given that it's considered a state-owned enterprise of China? So I don't know. I'm not sure, because I think that's one of the issues.
Bawal pa. But
bawal as an SOE, as a state-owned enterprise. If it were a Chinese company that's an independent, then maybe pwede. Pero because Chinatel is a state-owned enterprise of China, diba? Baka may mga political issues na hindi payagan.
Yeah. Okay. Sige. Next, what do we have? Solar Philippines, Nueva Ecija, the new kid on the block, literally. The guy is as old, as young as my son. Is it trying to make like an ACEN, renewable solar power? You like it or you don't like it? Juanis likes it. April doesn't like it. Juanis, why do you like the stock?
I think they've been getting good, healthy flows. Admittedly, they've gone up quite fast, and there is room for a correction in here. And if I'm going to be looking for an entry, I will wait for those corrections to be able to buy this.
Okay. Sige, April.
Yeah. So I think the excitement is because, of course, it's a pure play on solar energy, and it will be growing its capacity from 50 megawatts to 10,000 megawatts, they said, and they will be issuing a lot more shares, no? So magiging quadruple the number of outstanding shares. But my concern really is the execution risk. I talked to George Ching, our power analyst, about it, and I asked him, like, how much is the cost per megawatt? And he said, well, it's around $1.2 million. So the 2.7 billion that was raised is just enough to do 50 megawatts. So from 50 megawatts to 10,000 megawatts, it's more than 10 times. It's I don't know, more than 200 times by hata. So I mean, and then you're just gonna quadruple your market cap to bring that in. I mean, a lot of questions about this 10,000 or the 9,950 megawatts that will be injected. Like, are the solar panels there? Do they have contracts? What about the land? Does this company have debt? This company is not yet operational. So yeah, I do understand. It's very exciting when the numbers aren't there. pagkwento, mas madaling tumaas yung value, di ba? Pagka yung nandyan na talaga, that's difficult because yeah, there really is a lot of execution risk.
Yeah. Over the short term, medyo mahirap. But the chart, medyo pinapasukan ng mga traders. But fundamentally, April, medyo mahirap over the short term rin. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sige. Next stock, Converge. Like or dislike? Medyo this guy is making waves. So, what do you like it? Or dislike it? April Juanis? April Juanis likes it. Why do you like it? April doesn't like it.
Well, again, similarly, it's going through a consolidation pattern, which I would interpret to have some demand that seems to be holding it. This too is another issue that could have a potential inclusion to a foreign index maybe in the next couple of months. So I guess that could keep activity, quite interesting. Although, yes, short term, it could continue to consolidate until that decision is made. So maybe not in a hurry. Buy it in corrections.
April?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, operations are great. Its broadband business is growing very strong. And when it was recently added to the PSCI index, and potentially it could be added to the MSCI index, as it is expected to be a beneficiary of the amendments to the Public Service Act. Okay, our main issue really is still valuations right now. Okay, EV EBITDA niya is double-digit EV EBITDA, around 11 or 12 times, I believe, versus the sector average. Not only Philippines but global. I think the global average is around 8-9 times. So it's still a premium, and right now, for us, we're a little bit concerned about stocks that are expensive because of what's happening in the US, where the expensive stocks are being sold off. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad stock. I would recommend a buy on this when it goes down. Like I told you about Ayala Land. Na, everybody likes Ayala Land, but it's always expensive. And now that's gone down, it is an opportunity. So this is the same, with Converge. We're just waiting for prices to go down to better levels.
Hindi mo naman ayaw. Ano mo lang, just waiting for the good time.
Yeah, waiting for a better time.
Okay. Sige, next, we have some more. Jollibee. Like or dislike? Reopening play? Oh, they both like it. One is, like the chart?
Very much so. I think the correction back to the 200-day moving average was exactly what it needed to reset its frothiness. And as you said, the reopening play is still very much down the move. And hopefully this can climb back up to the highs we saw back in November.
Okay, great. April?
Yeah, again, so reopening play and other things that I like is the continuous turnaround of Smashburger and CBTL, which they bought, and they had some restructuring activities in 2020, and they stand to benefit from this. Okay, so yun for me. But over the short term, it's a little bit controversial because, for example, we do have only a hold rating on the stock because if you look at the PEs, they're expensive. But for me, I'm viewing it more on the longer term perspective. If the company was able to trade at a much higher price before Smashburger and CBTL, now that those two acquisitions are profitable, it deserves to at least go back to where it came from.
Okay. So April, mahal pa rin to. Mahal pa rin siya.
If you only look at it from a PE perspective. But if you think about it, well, the restaurants, it would be unfair to some extent to value a restaurant using a PE ratio when its operations has not yet normalized. Kasi high operating leverage yan right now, there's a lot of fixed cost when your sales are not yet back to normal.
So, pero you like it pa rin. Sige.
Yeah, I like it.
Good. Sige, next. Metro Pacific. Ito, value play or value trap. Like it or dislike it? Oh, April likes it. Oh, they both like it. Sige. Juanis, is it breaking out?
Oh, it's not. It's just consolidating. It's possible we could be seeing a potential wedge into this particular type of pattern, a falling wedge. So it might still take some time to be able to give us the upside we have, but I think you probably want to buy this on weakness rather than when it's getting ready to go on the upper boundary of its range. So just do this more gradually in your entry.
Okay, April.
Yeah. So, well, one of the reasons why I really like it is because of the toll road business. After several years of construction, it's time for them to actually unlock the value. Several toll roads will be coming online, allowing the length of their toll roads to grow by 30% in the next 2 to 3 years, no? And coupled with the reopening, they're expecting this year, I think, a 32% increase in traffic volume. And then the issue with Maynilad, which caused the share price to go down, no, in late 2019, is now resolved because the president signed Maynilad's legislative franchise, so up to 2046. And then, of course, valuations are very cheap. When you buy Metro Pacific right now, it's as if you're only buying Meralco among its various subsidiaries. The toll road business is free. And the company has said that it could potentially launch another share buyback program amounting to 5 billion pesos.
Bakit pangit yung sentiment, yung risk mo?
Well, I think people who have bought Metro Pacific have lost money during the past few years. And, when you talk to foreign investors, they say, well, it's subject to regulatory risk. We don't want to buy that. We don't want to buy companies that have, potential regulatory issues. We want to stay away from mga ganung issues, So that's why they don't wanna buy it.
Magre-REIT ba to? Re-REIT ba sila?
I don't think they can. At least no, because for the REIT law, your new projects are not REITable. They have to be at least 3 years old. So, if I were them, I would wait until more projects mature so that they can actually inject it.
Yeah, right. Sige. Next. PLDT, of course. May Paymaya kwento, digital bank. Will it go the way of Globe? Like or dislike? April likes. Juanis likes. Good. Sige. Juanis.
Well, uptrend still intact. Looks like it might need to consolidate or maybe even react slightly a little more, but it's proven to be quite resilient. And like you said, there is a new play action based on that, and I think you should be looking to buy this on dips because every time you have done that so far in the last few months, you've been right.
Good. Yeah. April.
Okay, so we like it because the wireless business or the mobile phones will benefit from the economic reopening. The broadband business, they don't really talk about it, but they're also benefiting from strong demand for fiber. The valuations are more attractive relative to both Globe and relative to Converge. It still provides you a dividend yield of around 4.7%. So yeah, I mean, we like the company.
Profitable na ba yung Paymaya? Like yung GCash?
Di pa yata. I'm not so sure because they consolidate everything eh.
Wala pa. Hindi pa, no? I think maybe profitable na yun. Next.
But I don't think that one is priced in,
Wala pa yun, ano? Wala pa yun.
Wala pa.
Yeah, baka yun nga yung play. Next. MREIT. REITs. So, you like it or you don't like it? Gandang dividend dito. They both like it. Juanis?
Well, it broke out from that November-December consolidation and then never looked back. So momentum is still quite strong. It's been overbought for the last since 2022 began, and the best correction it did was sideways. So that clearly tells you demand's on its favor, and as most of the REITs are showing similar type of activity. So I think we'll probably see more continuation.
Yeah. April, hindi lang bang dividends ang kwento nito. They're going to infuse 20 billion daw eh.
Yeah. So when it comes to REITs, okay, the kwento is both, the cash dividends and what is the direction of the cash dividends? Is it gonna go up? So it's not only yield. Okay, so you want a company or a REIT that can grow its portfolio so that the dividends will be increasing. And the reason why MREIT is attractive is because its REIT sponsor MegaWorld has the largest portfolio of offices that can be injected. Kasi ngayon ang uso office di ba? Hindi naman malls. So marami siyang PESA accredited offices.
Marami
pa na pwedeng ma-inject. That's why this is attractive because yun na nga, marami pang pwedeng ipasok for the dividend per share to grow.
So paano? They're earning dividend yield now. So when they inject the assets, dadagdag pa yung yield, tataas pa.
So yung dividend per share ang titignan mo, I think 1 peso this year, and then next year there will be probably hindi sa 1 peso, probably 1 peso and 7 cents, ganun, nag-increase siya. Tapos 2024 magiging 1 peso 13 cents. May ganong element. So you wanna buy a company that can grow that dividend per share. Because kung walang na-inject na bagong asset, you're only dependent on rental reversion. Diba? Rental escalations, in other words. You want a combination of rental escalations plus asset injections.
Will this not be affected by higher interest rates?
Well, I think given the current yield, mga 4.7, 4.6, probably 4.5, parang pwede pa. Pero if the yields are too low, then it will be more affected. Because if you look at your alternatives naman, mataas pa rin ng 4.7 versus say a bond, it's still relatively high. May spread ka pa naman. Plus, of course, nag-escalate pa naman yung mga dividends niya.
There's still escalation. Yeah. Okay. Sige, next stock. AREIT naman. This is a darling. Grabe, dumoble na yata ito from its IPO. So whether you like it or you don't like it, April, Juanis. She like April. Juanis likes it. April doesn't like it. Juanis, continuation.
That's correct. Again, although corrections do come and they're very slight and mostly sideways, so it looks like the tip-off over here is demand remains quite good, while the amount of shares out there remains relatively limited supply, and that's why it's been keeping itself in that area. So pullbacks maybe to your 50-day, if you're lucky, the 100-day should give up the opportunity you want to do to buy this.
Okay. April, mahal na.
Yeah. So, AREIT is also one of those, like similar to MREIT, you want to own it because the parent or the sponsor, Ayala Land, has a lot of rental assets that it can inject. And the company has said it's committed to inject 100,000 square meters of assets 2023, 2024. So a good growth story, and of course the Ayala Land name. I mean, for me, the problem is, of course, you kind of asked about it. Won't it be affected by high interest rates?
Yes.
And yes, it will be. And the problem is, okay, we talked about MREIT, mga 4+% dividend per share. Si AREIT ngayon nasa 3.7, I think. 3.7, 3.8%, which is a little bit low, in my opinion. It's not that I don't like it. I mean, I'd buy it if it goes down in terms of price. But at the current price, parang ang baba ng 3.7. Even if you add some growth, kasi okay, these REITs, di ba, remember when you ask the company, should I buy your REIT or should I buy the common stock? And they tell you, if you're after growth, buy the common stock. If you're after dividend, buy the REIT. But, if you look at the stock, well, it seems like AREIT provided both capital appreciation and yield, di ba?
Yield.
But the thing is, if you're just looking at dividend per share for AREIT, even if they do acquisitions, because of how, di ba, inaaral naman natin sa finance yun eh. If you pay out all your earnings as cash dividends, you have a difficult time growing. So, ito, mga REITs, ang growth nila would be around high single digit lang. Mga ganyan lang yan, at most high single digit.
Pero mababa.
So yun.
Yeah, mababa na kasi yield nito. You like better, higher yield, higher dividend. Yeah. Okay, sige. Is that the last? Yun na ba yung last? Oh, so were we able to put everything together kaya in a summary? Ladies, can you help me out? Na-summarize ba natin yung lahat ng speed round? Sana, so that we have an idea. Kasi Juanis, I saw your charts, yung mga charts, parang they look the same, the things that you like. Parang ganun ba yun? This is how it looks like. There's a jump and then there's a consolidation. That's what you like, no? Parang because there's a continuation. You think there's continuation going to come in?
Mimicking the index, sort of, we're really hoping that demand is what's flowing inside and accumulating the stock, and it hasn't gone up into a trajectory that's very aggressive as of yet. So if it does, then at least you've got good upside.
Yeah, good. I counted about 11 stocks that you agreed on. So we look at it again. So tingnan. Ayan. So these are your summary. Thank you, ladies. So they like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stocks that they both like. So the probability of these stocks should do better depend. Yeah. So hopefully they do better for the next 6 months. The ones that they did not agree on, MONDE, SPNEC, Converge, AREIT, but they don't like both ACEN and Dito. So these are your most requested stocks. I hope you're able to kind of get some ideas, at least over the short term. Again, these are short-term views of April and Juanis. Things may change depending on what developments are, but so far, okay naman din kanilang track record. So, thank you.